What's up? This is some dumb shit that I found on the internet today, and it's just fucking shit house, and it's not because it's bad content on YouTube. It's just because of the subject matter, man. The subject matter, and it's about a murderer called Gregory Green. I'd never heard. I know a lot about different murderers and serial killers and all sorts of other business like that. But I've never heard of Gregory Green. But what basically this is I got some part through this video, and it turns out that there's a pastor of a church who wrote a letter hoping to get this guy off or on parole or whatever. And this pastor is called Fred Harris. However, as you notice at the bottom, he big notes himself by calling him an apostle. Now, most people that know me, they know that I'm agnostic. I don't believe in religion of any kind. However, I do respect the people that do, because as far as I'm concerned, religion is a support system to help people establish good lives. And if it makes them happy and it makes their life happy, then that's fine. I'm happy with that, man. That's fine. I don't need that. But other people do, and that's cool with me. But to call yourself an apostle, I think that's more of a deserved term. It's not a term you just call yourself. You know, like I don't walk down the street and when people say, "Who are you?" and I say, "I'm Captain fucking John," and they're like, "Oh yeah, are you in the army?" No, I'm not in the army. "Oh, you're in the navy?" No. I say, "Yeah, are you in any military system at all?" No. Well, why do you call yourself Captain John then? Well, I mean, I just decided one day to call myself Captain John. So for this bloke here to call himself an apostle, which I assume is an apostle of Jesus, mate, you're really big noting yourself, and that's like I said, that's something that other people label you as. It's not something it's not a title you just give yourself, you dumbass. But I just quickly had to make this video because as soon as I saw this letter pop up in this YouTube video, I thought, holy shit, maybe I can be of service to some people who don't know how to use proper punctuation and grammar, and even spelling. You know, maybe I can teach somebody something today. All right, so let's start. Apostle Fred Harris is. Oh yeah, actually no. Before I mention anything else, this letter is actually written to, I don't know, the parole board or fucking the judge or whoever, but they want to get this Gregory Green off from a murder that he committed. If you Google Gregory Green's name, I'm sure you can find information if you really want to know. But basically, he stabbed his wife multiple times in the face. She had an unborn child. I assume it was his. So he's automatically killed two people then. And then he got out of jail. I don't know, fucking 16 years later or something like that. And he decided to continue his career as a psychopath. But before he continued his career, before he got that opportunity, Apostle Fred Harris here decided to write a letter. Now, the letter, even though this would have been written around the mid-90s, maybe early 90s, the letter starts with "Dear Sirs," right? Now, already I have a problem with that. And one is because why are you putting a comma in between "dear" and "sirs"? If anything, the comma should go at the end. So, Fred, you've already fucked up there, right? But also, in this day and age of equality and women's rights and feminism, why are you just assuming, Fred, why are you just assuming that anyone in the legal system who reads this letter must be of male origin? Huh? Why? Why are you assuming that? And so anyway, let's move on. So, you know, this is a letter of support from Mr. Gregory. I'm pretty certain there needs to be a space between the Mr. And Gregory. But let's pretend that Apostle Fred Harris's space bar just, it just doesn't work every now and then. In this instance, it doesn't. It's worked for the last 6 or 7 times that he's needed to use the space bar, but when he mentions Mr. Gregory Green, there's a mysteriously just a missing space. So Gregory and I were friends before this mishap. Yeah, stabbing your partner in the face 17 times and even more in the stomach, which contains your unborn child. That's certainly a mishap. I would maybe escalate that to an incident. There could be better words, but I mean, let's not jump the boat here. Let's just assume that it was at most an incident. But yeah, Gregory Green was incarcerated. So he was a member of our church. Okay, cool. I mean, there's a bunch of people out there who are religious, but are also very bad people. I don't need to mention the Catholic Church. I think you know where I'm going with that one. But I mean, there are people who are murderers and rapists who describe themselves as religious people. So I don't know where Fred's going with that one, but we will never find out, because what Fred did was he put a full stop, or a period as Americans call it, after the word church. So it's basically just a statement. I was a friend of Greg's before the incident, and he was incarcerated. He was a member of our church. Okay, cool. I am offering the help of the church. I don't know what help you're referring to there. I can't imagine, apart from prayers, that you can do anything to release a murderer from murder jail. I mean, let's be honest. Apart from prayers, what are you going to do? Pass the fucking offering plate around and collect some cash? Is that what it's going to go in his commissary or something? Is it so he can afford some extra fucking noodles this week? I don't know. What sort of help are you talking about, churchman Fred Harris? As well as myself in any way. I'm starting to get angry with you, Fred. All right, because first of all, you've put a double space in between the words in and anyway. Now, what makes this worse is what you actually mean to say, Fred, is as well as myself in any way. Not anyway, that's a different word. Okay, I understand it's got the same letters, but the context differs if you put a space between any and way. The context differs, and that's exactly what you should have done now. So let's read it again and try not to trigger ourselves with the obvious grammatical and spelling errors, because this is annoying me already. I am offering the help of the church as well as myself in any way we can be of service to Gregory. Yeah, extra noodles, cool. I feel he has paid for his there's no need for a hyphen there. In unfortunate. Unfortunate is actually a word. No need for the hyphen there, Fred. And if you're going to use the excuse, I mean, let's be honest, you can't come up with it. I've already fucking belted you with 3 reasons why you're a fucking idiot, and you can't spell or type grammatical sentences. So this unfortunate incident that we're talking about right now, even if you said to me, yeah, but I was running out of space on the screen or the keyboard, I'd still be like, well, why don't you just press double space like you did between the words in and anyway? You could have solved that problem for you without using a fucking hyphen. But you didn't, because you're an idiot. So let's reread it again and ignore the fuck-ups. I feel he has paid for his unfortunate lack of self-control. Stabbing your... Do you know, I don't think I've ever stabbed anything. But I'm pretty certain that if I did stab something once, my brain would say, oi, maybe don't do that again. But no, see, Gregory, he stabbed his wife 17 times in the face. Right? I don't know if Fred knows these details. Obviously, maybe he's uninformed, or maybe he has fortunate education, you know. And that's with a hyphen. If my speech didn't indicate that. And the damage he has caused as much as possible, and is sorry. So let's read that again. I feel he is paid for his unfortunate lack of self-control, and the damage he has caused as much as possible, and is sorry. That's a run-on sentence, Fred. You know, you need more commas in that, or at least full stops or periods, or whatever Americans call it. Yeah, I don't know if Fred, Apostle Fred, sorry, oh, phew, Jesus, nearly made a mistake there. Whoa, I even blasphemed. Anyway, Apostle Fred Harris needs to go back to sentence construction in English class. But this will not restore the lives that were taken. He will carry that with the rest. Or you will carry that with him for the rest of his life. Yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, so that could have been 2 paragraphs. Just short ones, you know. But it's one big one. So here we go. Here's a shorter second paragraph. We are hoping to assist Gregory in now giving to life and helping those in... What? We are hoping to assist Gregory in now giving to life. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't get it, Fred. Don't get it, Freddie. And helping those in need for our church work in the USA, as well as in other countries. So he's just boasting now. But the problem that I have with that sentence is, well, the second problem I have is, I don't know if it's like, it says USA and it's got you know, full stops in between. I don't know whether that's the right way to do it. However, if you were to spell USA with dots in between as an acronym, I don't know if the third dot is needed after the A, but if it is, it should probably be replaced with a comma and, oh, here we go, a space. Now that I think about it, I think I know what Fred Harris's problem is, and it's not actually his problem. It's the problem of his computer. So what his computer's done, if we go back to halfway through the first paragraph, his computer has inserted a second space in between the words myself in and anyway. And so what his computer's done is misplaced that space, right? Whereas that second space that we thought was unneeded, no, it is needed. It's needed. It's needed after the dot in USA and the words as well. Yeah, that's what's happened. Yeah. So anyway, let's see what else Fred has to say. Hopefully this can pay back a portion of that which was taken. Yeah. Murder of a child, an unborn child, and its mother. Stabbed 17 times in the face and also numerous times in the stomach, abdomen area, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but so hopefully Fred and his crew, Apostle Fred and his crew, who are doing some charity work around the world and in the USA, hopefully that can pay back a portion of what Gregory Green has done. Of course. I mean, yeah, just send some missionaries out. You know, give some people food that are hungry. You know, do a few prayers, and you might actually get a murderer, a psychopathic murderer, out of jail. I mean, that's exactly how shit works in society. And he ends it with, if there are any questions, don't hesitate, contact me. Wow, I got some fucking questions, Fred. But to be quite honest, I've got better shit to do. Because what I would say to you on the phone is a hell of a lot more than you're a fucking idiot. And please don't. Oh, I just remembered something. Apparently there's I just quickly, as soon as I saw this second letter, I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. So basically, Apostle Fred, starts off his email with, "Dear parole broad." Now, we'll remember that in the first letter, he started with "Dear, comma, no space, sirs," right? But he seems to have learned between then and now with this letter here. he seems to have learned that the parole board, the police, or any, it's just people in the justice system in general, there may actually be some females working in the justice system. Except what I want to say to Apostle Fred Harris is that women don't actually like to be called broads. It's an outdated term, and it's tended to be considered derogatory. Okay, so what I want to say to you is, first of all, you're 3 words into this letter, and you've fucked up twice. The first one is there should be a comma after the word broad, and the second fuck up you've made already is you probably shouldn't call chicks broads, because it's a very 1950s, 60s term, and I really don't want to have to fucking email you, because you did say last time in the last letter, if there are any questions, contact you at any time. But I actually don't want to contact you to ask you why you call people broads in this day and age. What fucking year do you think it is? And have you noticed that there's a growing movement of women's rights? And also, finally, where the fuck are your commas, mate? But let's hear what else fucking what's his name? Apostle Fred has to say. I greet you in the name of our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ. It should be a fucking comma between Saviour and Jesus, but whatever. This guy's got a massive. He's got like missing comma syndrome. That's what I reckon. Somebody should diagnose this fucking apostle. Anyway, I'm writing this letter in support of Gregory Green. Yep, the stabby stab guy. I understand he's being considered for parole. Well, righto. That's probably why you're writing to the parole broads to see what she or her has to say. Gregory was attending our church before he was sentenced to prison. Right. So that should be sentenced, as in like a D on the end of the word sentence, as in past tense. Apostle Fred, right? He was very faithful attendance-wise, showed a great interest in the Lord and was very helpful. Okay, so he rocked up to church every Sunday. He talked to you about how he likes the Lord very much, and for some reason that means that Stubby Stab should be let go from prison, because, he's a good bloke. He just had a mishap, or what could be described as an incident, where he murdered his fucking unborn child and his wife or his partner, whatever. Over the years, we and some of our members have communicated with Gregory. Yep, I through visits as well as letters, sometimes I don't know why, but as I've become older, my spelling, I used to, when I was a young kid, my mum was a teacher, and we knew a lot of teachers too, and I was a very good speller, and I knew what was going on. Never, but actually, you know what? Let me rewind a little bit. Sometimes, though, in my old age, I do type things on the internet, and Google or fucking Microsoft Word or whatever, they do the red squiggly line shit, and they go, "Oi, okay, you spelled occasionally wrong." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, is it 2 C's or 2 S's or 2 L's? Fuck, which one of them is only one?" But never have I typed occasionally with a fucking T in it. There is no T at all in occasionally. Yet Apostle Fred thinks there is. Apostle Fred, mate, you're doing my head in. Anyway, our ministry deals with correcting behaviour. That should be behavioural problems by understanding their origin. Alright, so Fred's going to be a good boy now because you found out his mother was abused when he was young and he was malnourished, and that's why he's a psychopath who stabs people in the face 17 times and kills their unborn child. Let's just read that again. Our ministry deals with correcting behavioural problems by understanding their origin. So what I want to say to Apostle Fred is, can you please let let psychologists and other scientists know what it is exactly that you do to change murderous psychopaths' behaviour? Because they've been trying to figure this shit out for fucking years, mate. But you guys seem to have your finger on the pulse, mate. You seem to have your eye on the ball, you know? Apostle Fred, if you're out there, fucking let everyone know. Let the scientific community know how you can change psychopaths' behaviour by understanding their origin. So how we have been affected, Jesus Christ, Fred. That should be affected, not effected. Affected by them, and what we must do to change them. This procedure is called inner healing and deliverance. Holy crap. I don't want to start talking about people squealing like pigs, or forests, or even fucking autistic kids who sit on their balcony and play the banjo. But if your procedure called inner healing and deliverance changes psychopaths' way of thinking, then, as I said, mate, reach out to the scientific community, because we've been trying to figure this shit out for a long fucking time. But you seem to have the answers. The cards are all in your hand, son, and you need to hand them over eventually. He's actually he should have hit enter after the word deliverance, but sorry, I just read ahead then. With this technique in mind, while interacting with Gregory, I've noticed a great deal of growth, and his understanding has matured quite a bit as well, and his processing skills, as his processing skills. He should probably say has his processing skills. And there should also be a comma in there somewhere too, but I don't really want to read it again because it's just more bullshit from Apostle Fred. If he was to be released, Fred, now you want me to stab someone in the fucking face 17 times. If he was to be released, past tense, Fred, past tense, we've discussed this, I'm sure. Released, with a fucking D on the end, Fred. He would be welcomed as a part of our church community, and whatever we could do to help him adjust, we would. There should be a comma in the end there too, between adjust and we. But this is the type of letters insane religious people send to the broads at their parole board. Broads at their parole board, yeah. But this is mental. This is fucking mental. This is, I mean, just, this is the guy. This is the guy putting his hand up and going, yeah, no, I believe. I mean, he's alright. He did stab heaps of people. Now, if you actually want to look up Gregory, because I googled him just before I made this video, but if you actually want to look up Gregory Green, he did actually murder someone about, 25 years later, and the person that he murdered was actually like the daughter or stepdaughter of this fucking idiot. What's his name? Apostle Fred. Yeah. So, I mean, thanks for sticking up for Gregory, but mate, it was a big mistake, wasn't it? Because now your fucking child's dead too. But anyway, have a good night, folks. Catch you next time.